Good morning, Marshall Lyles.
Hi, Kelly.
So wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for taking some time today to briefly chat about your upcoming Association Play Therapy Conference. We are so excited to welcome you to New York. And so your conference is called Unwinding Insecurity, Utilizing Attachment-Informed Sand Tray-Based Play Therapy. And I was hoping that we could get some more information today from you about kind of what to expect at that conference. So I have a few questions for you and love to share this information with, wide variety of audience since you,
Sounds good.
are, um, part of so many awesome communities, the play therapy community, EMDR community, Sand Tray. So my first question is, what is one thing you think every clinician should know about sand-based therapy?
I think one of the things that's most important to me is starting to internalize the difference between cultivating curiosity and interpretation, especially as we start moving into the discussion about all the metaphor-based approaches and how they intersect with increasing someone's capacity for attachment security, is we really need to be more and more capable and equipped to tolerate the uncertain, the ambiguous, the not fully knowable. Metaphor allows a lot of space for that, so we can practice curiosity lined meaning making without reaching for any kind of certain interpretive stance. Not only are we trying to make space as hand therapists to be comfortable in our bodies and minds doing that, we're trying to let that be contagious and enter into the meaning making potential of our clients. And it starts with us. It starts with our ability to be okay, to know that that is part of doing this work, is to remember not knowing is beautiful and not knowing is still grounded in wisdom.
Thank you for sharing that. Curiosity lined meaning making is now my favorite phrase. So, in all of your years of experience with, sand tray based play therapy, what's about? What is a use or a benefit that has come up that really surprised you?
Hmm. Oh, one of there are a couple that immediately came into my mind. One is how applicable it is for all age groups. That, of course, the skill in which you utilize it shifts with different developmental abilities. But I forget, especially, when in maybe a season of talk therapy with an adult, which is not really how I normally work, but for some people, that's their comfort level. I forget how rapidly changing people are in their internal states of age. That even in a talk session, they are moving up and down their own developmental ladder based on the content, and that can sometimes be disguised in talk alone. In sand work, it has this really unique ability to pull forward um, and invite forward, having co-occurring different ages all online and doing the work together. So it's like a play date for one. It welcomes really all of these ages. Even a teenager, they're kind of experimenting with some future adult part and some earlier child part, or are right there intermingling at their current age and stage. So there is something relatively magical about sand and its ability to welcome that fluidity of dynamic when it comes to processing difficult information. But there's also, I still get struck sometimes by the beauty, and beauty can be painful, of the imagery. That, even though we're not typically taking the time to create every single miniature with the client that they are going to use in Santry, when they end up arranging these things, this work of art comes forward, and I sometimes still forget how much awe there is in witnessing someone witness their own creativity. Like watching them make contact with what they just did is, it can be overwhelming. It can be something we have to be prepared to hold their overwhelm, but it also, to watch people become proud, like I just let a part of me be made visible that I've not even really made all that much contact with before on my own. And they're making the abstract momentarily concrete is this beautifully artistic side effect of the work we do. And I really still get excited about all of that.
Thank you for sharing that. So one thing that I've taken away from, our contacts and trainings and consultations is I really strongly associate you with Sixers. So I'm hoping that you can create a Sixer today about the concept of unwinding insecurity.
Mm.
And just for anybody watching who might not know what a Sixer is, if you haven't talked to Marshall before, it's a 6-word poem.
I'm going to try and do it on the fly, and I'm going to have to count with my fingers.
That is resourceful.
Yeah. I definitely have the word reclaim coming
Mm.
alive, and reach is coming alive. So it would be something like, um, reclaiming faraway parts, reaching toward security. So reclaiming faraway parts, reaching for security would be my sixer that comes forward.
Oh, thank you so much for creating that and sharing that with us. So, is there anything else you'd like us to know about this upcoming training session?
Yeah, one of the things that's often important for me to tell people who are considering coming is we're going to be welcoming the person of the sand therapist into the healing circle, and not only learning how to apply this to the clients who need you, but how to first filter it through the parts of you that also need it. So there's going to be a lot of gentle space for making sure we're honoring the fact that when all of us as healers come together to talk about the depth of attachment theory, even through something metaphorical like sand, we're still inviting kind of a dance of our own memories to be a part of that. And so they will all be held and cherished, and as safely as possible welcomed into the dialogue. We're going to be looking at how to work with clients of different ages. So we're going to kind of almost hold in mind a fictional preteen to young, to teen. But with that, it will be dipping down into some moments of younger and then moving forward into some moments of older. So I'm going to try and use some client examples that do show the entire age span, even though we're going to come back to neutral pretty often. And then, just with things that have been shifting in me, trying to figure out what are some of the adventures I'm going to be on next. I don't actually have a plan to teach this workshop again. Definitely not anytime in the near future. So even though I'll still be doing some sand work, this one that I've been teaching for some years around the integration of attachment theory with Century-based play, and then specifically looking at some of the applications of that, where the complexity, the developmental complexity of this particular age group and the transitions that are happening while we're trying to hold all of that in mind. I don't have a plan for it again. And so since that's a question I get a lot, I would love, if it's something you want to do, I would love for you to come on to New York and take advantage of it.
Thank you so much for sharing that information. And, as Sandtray is so inviting, you are as well. So thank you for the opportunity to come learn from you. And
Happy,
New York
happy.
will see you in April.
Bye.
Bye.